You did not click this by accident. You click because something inside you knows the machine is running wrong, not broken, just wrong. And you keep telling yourself you will fix it later. You will not. Not without order. Not without command. I spent my life building machines, engines, factories, systems that ran whether men felt inspired or not. And I learned this. A machine does not care about your mood. It cares about precision, about repetition, about whether the parts do what they were built to do. Your life is no different. If the system is broken, the output will be broken. If the man is scattered, the days will be scattered. And where there is no order, there will be no result. Most people live as if life will improve by accident, as if discipline will arrive on its own, as if purpose will knock on the door one morning and introduce itself. It will not. Order is not given. It is made by you, on yourself. And it begins the moment you stop negotiating with weakness. Let me tell you what I saw in the factories. Men who worked without a system achieved very little. Men who worked with a system achieved much. The difference was not talent. It was not luck. It was structure. A man with structure moves forward even when he does not feel like moving. A man without structure drifts even when he wants to rise. Structure is the frame that holds a life together when emotion fails. You say you want to get your life in order. Then stop waiting to feel ready. Take the first step now. Readiness is a lie sold to those who prefer comfort over command. You do not become ready by waiting. You become ready by beginning. And beginning requires only one thing, the decision that drift is no longer permitted. Time does not care about your intentions. Time is a machine. It moves. It counts. It does not stop because you are tired, distracted, or unprepared. Every hour you waste is an hour you will never recover, an hour you cannot win back. Every day spent without direction is a day that belonged to your future and was given to nothing. Time rewards discipline. It punishes delay. There is no mercy in this, only law, only order. I built an empire not because I was the smartest man, but because I understood repetition. A task done once proves nothing. A task done 1,000 times builds a system, and a system runs without emotion. It runs because it was built to run. Your life must become a system, not a series of hopeful attempts, not a collection of good ideas that never move beyond thought. A system, built through repetition, strengthened through consistency, operated without excuses. You say you want order. Then let me ask you plainly, what did you do today that matched your purpose? What did you complete? What did you refuse? What did you repeat until it became natural? If you cannot answer, you are not building, you are drifting, and drift does not lead to order. It leads to regret, disguised as surprise, when years pass and nothing has changed. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack rhythm. They work when they feel like it. They rest when boredom arrives. They start tasks, but do not finish them. They speak of plans they never execute. Their lives become a pile of incomplete efforts, and they wonder why nothing stands. A builder does not wonder. He knows. Incomplete work is not work. It is waste. If you begin a task, finish it. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel better. Now. Completion builds character far more than inspiration ever will. A man who finishes what he starts becomes a man the world can trust. A man who abandons tasks becomes a man the world ignores. Finish your work every time. Without exception. This alone will separate you from the majority. Let me tell you something about mornings. The morning is the first battle. If you lose the morning, you lose the day. If you lose the day, you lose the week. If you lose the week, you lose the year. And years become a life that was never commanded. Rise with intent. Not when you feel rested, not when you feel motivated, when the clock says, rise. Your feelings are not the master. The clock is the master, and the man who obeys the clock gains power over himself. This is how confidence is built. This is how it should be. Do not fill your morning with laziness. Do not reach for distraction before you have taken command of your mind. Sit, think, decide what must be done. Then do it. The first hour sets the direction. If the first hour is weak, the rest will follow. If the first hour is strong, that strength carries through. Guard your mornings as you would guard your future, because that is what they are. Now let us speak of habits. A habit is a machine installed inside you. Once built, it runs without thought. If your habits are disciplined, your life will be disciplined. If your habits are careless, your life will be careless. You do not rise through grand efforts. You rise through small actions repeated until they become automatic. Choose one duty. Perform it every day. Do not negotiate. Do not make excuses. Just perform it. Soon it will require no effort at all. It will simply be what you do. That is mastery. Men often say they do not have time. They do not lack time. They lack structure. Time is abundant, but it is wasted on the trivial. A man who does not assign his hours loses them. A man who assigns his hours multiplies them. Decide what each hour is for. Protect that decision. Do not let interruption steal what you have assigned. Do not let idleness consume what you have planned. Time is the currency of life. Spend it the way a wealthy man spends gold, deliberately. You must also bring order to your surroundings. A cluttered space breeds a cluttered mind. Disorder in your environment produces disorder in your thoughts. Remove what does not serve. Arrange what remains. Keep your workspace clean. Keep your tools in their place. This is not decoration. This is discipline made visible. And what is visible shapes what is internal. Another truth: the people around you shape you. If you spend time with people who complain, you will complain. If you spend time with people who drift, you will drift. If you spend time with people who make excuses, you will make excuses. Choose your companions carefully. Choose people who work. Choose people who finish. Choose people who do not waste your time with noise. Companionship is a form of environment. An environment shapes destiny. Responsibility is the cornerstone of all progress. A man who blames cannot rise. A man who makes excuses cannot improve. A man who points to circumstances remains a servant of circumstances. But a man who accepts responsibility becomes powerful. He no longer waits for the world to change. He changes himself. And through that change, the world rearranges around him. Take responsibility for every failure. Take responsibility for every delay. Take responsibility for the disorder you see. Once you accept it, you gain the power to correct it. Do not speak of failure. Do not rehearse defeat. Do not declare yourself incapable. Words shape thought. Thought shapes action. A man who speaks carelessly soon acts carelessly. Speak as the man you are becoming, not the man you have been. Say, I finish what I begin. Say, I do not drift. Say, my time serves my purpose. Repeat these until your subconscious accepts them. Then your conduct will follow without force. Emotion must be governed. A man ruled by feeling cannot maintain order. He becomes a prisoner of moods. But a man who governs his emotions becomes steady. He does not collapse when things go wrong. He does not abandon his task when boredom arrives. He continues, not because he feels inspired, but because he decided to continue. Steadiness is the mark of the builder. Emotion is useful when directed. It is dangerous when it directs you. At the end of each day, review your conduct. What did you complete? Where did you drift? What must be corrected tomorrow? This review is not punishment. It is instruction. A man who does not examine his day cannot improve his day. Improvement requires honest observation. See clearly, correct calmly, then begin again. Your life will not improve because you read these words. It will improve only when you obey them. Knowledge without action is decoration. It impresses no one and changes nothing. Action without knowledge is reckless, but knowledge joined with action becomes power. You now have the knowledge. The question is whether you will act. 15 minutes. That is all this required. 15 minutes to hear what you already knew, but refused to admit. Your life is out of order because you permitted disorder. You negotiated with weakness. You delayed what should have been done immediately. You drifted when you should have directed, and drift cost you years. But drift ends the moment you decide it ends. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Now. You do not need permission. You do not need confidence. You need decision. Decide that disorder is no longer acceptable. Decide that your time will be commanded. Decide that your habits will serve your purpose. Decide that you will finish what you begin. Decide that you will no longer be a man who drifts. Say it. I will do this. The machine of your life will run the way you build it. If you build it with discipline, it will produce discipline. If you build it with carelessness, it will produce waste. The choice is not complicated. The choice is whether you will take command or continue to drift. I built factories that changed the world, not because I was extraordinary, but because I understood that a system built correctly runs smoothly. It simply runs. Your life must become that system, built through order, maintained through repetition, operated without emotion. Your life improves only when your discipline improves. Take this seriously, and begin now.